It's a wonderful thing when two sick little freaks find each other. Yorgos Lanthimos was already making some wild movies, like Dogtooth, The Lobster, and The Killing of a Sacred Deer before he met Emma Stone, but when the two came together, they could truly let their freak flags fly. In the last few years, they've done some of their best work together, from the unhinged period piece of The Favorite to maybe Stone's best performance yet with Poor Things, not to mention last year's surreal anthology film Kinds of Kindness. Stone has become Lanthimos' muse, and the two have never been better than when they're together. Their latest film, Bugonia, is continued proof that this partnership is one of the best director-actress combos possibly ever, with one of the strangest, absurd, and darkest comedies you'll see this year.
Yorgos Lanthimos gets into conspiracy theories and the powerful with Bugonia. Also reuniting with Lanthimos after his incredible performance in Kinds of Kindness is Jesse Plemons, who plays Teddy, a man who has become convinced that aliens are trying to destroy Earth. Considering how awful Teddy's world has become, it's easy to understand why he'd want to believe outside sources are to blame. In the film's early scenes, we see Teddy and his cousin Don going around crappy stores and falling apart shopping centers in their dying town, gathering supplies for their mission: kidnap an alien and save the world. Teddy believes that one such alien is Michelle Fuller, the CEO of a pharmaceutical company. Teddy works in the shipping department of Michelle's company, and his family has a dark history with the workplace. As Teddy says, "We're not steering the ship, they are," which could easily be true of either aliens or the rich and powerful who seemingly don't care about the low-wage workers they exploit. To stop Earth's destruction by these aliens that have infiltrated our world, Teddy and Don kidnap Michelle, shave her head, and trap her in their basement. Teddy gives Michelle 4 days to come clean about who she really is so that they can make contact with the aliens keeping an eye on Earth and effectively save the human race from whatever plans the extraterrestrial creatures have up their sleeves.
Bugonia is a clever, smart update to a South Korean comedy.
With Bugonia, Lanthimos and screenwriter Will Tracy update the 2003 South Korean film Save the Green Planet, and in doing so, they are able to make this absolutely nuts story better paced, more grounded, and expand on the ideas. While Save the Green Planet was a fun concept, Lanthimos and Tracy give this story the richness that it deserves, which also addresses the inequality and frustration of living in the modern day. Save the Green Planet is the sort of film you want to see adapted by someone like Lanthimos, who can really key into what made that film exciting and elevate it into something greater. This also becomes a far more complex story than Tracy's last film, The Menu, and how it handles the wealthy versus the poor and the imbalance in our world that could lead people to such nightmarish actions. Bugonia is a remarkably tense film, as it puts two wholly opposing forces in a room together to see who bends first. On one hand, with Teddy, you have the man who believes without a doubt that he has kidnapped an alien, which is his key to figuring out how the hell his life has gone as poorly as it has. He wants answers to why the world could be as cruel as it is, and the only one he's found is that it must be an otherworldly interference. On the other hand, you have Michelle, who knows she is not an alien and has to convince a man either that she isn't what he thinks or go the other way and play into his delusions wholeheartedly. This back and forth is fascinating and fun to watch, and Tracy's screenplay keeps the audience guessing where this story is going until the very end. Yet for a filmmaker like Lanthimos, who relishes the ridiculous and how far he can take his stories, Bugonia oddly feels strangely reserved and restrained for him. Without a doubt, Bugonia is still completely bizarre, but in the context of his previous work, this doesn't get as absolutely bonkers as one would expect, but it's fascinating to watch him present a story like this with more restraint. For example, Bugonia mostly takes place in the home of Teddy and Don, yet it manages to feel expansive in the story it's telling, right down to the score by Jerskin Fendrix, which swells and crashes in ways that almost present Teddy like a galactic hero in his own story. This also seems to be one of the more prescient works of Lanthimos' career, a film that is attempting to speak to the struggles that people today deal with, the irritation of a world in disrepair, and the anger towards the people in power who could do something but refuse to do so. In a way, considering how much of Bugonia takes place in one home but still manages to feel like we're watching a whole world presented before us, this almost feels like a return to Lanthimos' breakthrough 2009 film Dogtooth. Both are deeply unsettling in what can happen within an unsuspecting home, but also show the way he's able to craft a full-blown, idiosyncratic narrative within just 4 seemingly normal walls.
Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons give two incredible performances in Bugonia.
Because of this restraint, Bugonia is mostly a three-hander between Stone, Plemons, and Delbis. But Lanthimos knows that with actors this great, he can mostly just sit back and watch how they play off each other. As one would expect, Stone is tremendous here, and each time Teddy visits Michelle in his basement, it's like she's becoming a new person, trying a new tactic, or playing out some scenario that can get her free from this maniac. This is a rich character with many layers that Stone has to play all at once, and the type of performance that requires a rewatch to fully appreciate. But despite the darkness of the story, this is also a great encapsulation of everything that makes Stone one of the best working actors today, from playing the seriousness of the situation to also nailing the comedic timing of this story's absurdity. Even though this is only Plemons' second film with both Lanthimos and Stone, he's a perfect addition to this collaboration. Lanthimos has essentially found an actor and actress willing to push his stories as far as he wants to take them, and gleefully so. Plemons' Teddy is a character who we both can't believe has taken things to this level, but also empathize with and want to see turn out okay. He's struggling. The whole world around him is struggling, and it's as though he's suffocating in this hellscape until he can find the answers he needs. The world is brutal and unforgiving, and he believes he will be its savior. Like Stone's Michelle, Plemons plays Teddy on so many levels that we don't fully understand at first, but by the end, he's a character we almost want to root for, even as his actions become more desperate and terrifying. He's a tragic character, and Plemons brings a humanity and understanding to him that few other actors could portray as effectively as he does here. The heart of Bugonia, an audience surrogate of the film, however, is Delbis's Don, who doesn't quite understand his cousin's plan, but trusts him enough to follow his journey. This is the feature debut of Delbis, and he's a necessary element of this dynamic who can pull back Teddy when he gets to be too much, but also shows Michelle that there's some humanity within her captors. While it's not as high profile as the work being done by Plemons and Stone, Delbis is an essential addition to this story, one that wasn't present in Save the Green Planet, and hopefully we'll see more of Delbis in Lanthimos' work down the road. With Bugonia, Lanthimos elevates an already fantastic concept, making an essential film about the world we live in and just how insane and hopeless it can feel at times. Much like One Battle After Another or Park Chan-wook's upcoming No Other Choice, Bugonia captures what it's like to exist in 2025 and how absolutely maddening that experience can be. Within that, Lanthimos continues making some of the wildest movies to hit theaters, led by two performances of the year from Plemons and Stone. In Lanthimos' world, the sick little freaks are the ones who are on the right side of history, and thank God we've got a weirdo like him to tell their story.